Our Brexit rematch debate. For the victorious 52%, Richard Tice, co-chair of Leave Means Leave, and for the vanquished 48%, James McGrory, co-executive director of Open Britain. And do you agree with that we are basically heading towards hard Brexit?
Yeah, we like to call it a clean Brexit, and Leave Means Leave, we're campaigning for a clean, prompt and effective Brexit so we can get on with it and enjoy the benefits and opportunities that will come when we leave. I think, and actually that's the mood of the country, whether people voted Remain or whether they voted to leave. They actually want the Prime Minister now to show some real courageous leadership and get on with it.
Even at a short-term price of losing those supports that we've had from the European Union.
Well, I don't accept that actually there's going to be a short-term price. We've already seen Project Fear being trashed in almost every single sense. And actually, we're a hard-working, transparent economy. In the real estate industry, we're seeing money pouring in from overseas to invest in this country. You're seeing it with other corporate news, Facebook, Google, Amazon.
I thought you had a 20% drop in top-rate properties in London.
People have talked about that in the immediate aftermath, but that's not what we're seeing around the country.
All right, but in London you're having a drop, right?
In London there's been a drop in residential. Most of that was due to stamp duty, not due to Brexit.
OK, so we're heading towards a clean Brexit, is what the people want.
I'm not sure it is, and certainly not when the options are fully put in front of them. And I slightly disagree with the idea that we're just thrust headlong towards a hard, destructive Brexit. If you compare where we were at Conservative Party conference and the rhetoric that was coming out there to where we are now, the messages that are coming out from the government on a transition arrangement to avoid the so-called cliff edge, their admittance really that we're going to have to make some sort of continuing payments to the EU for market access, I think we're headed towards a softer Brexit than some like Richard would perhaps like.
The reality is what the ministers are doing, quite rightly, is keeping the options open until the Prime Minister comes out and sets her stall. But the benefits of leaving the single market, which has been a really bad deal for Britain over the years...
Mrs Thatcher's idea.
Well, that may be, but that was then. We're focusing on the future, not the past.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a Conservative idea pioneered by Mrs Thatcher, wasn't it?
But unfortunately, because the deal has changed, the amount we pay in has changed, because freedom of movement changed in 2004, you have to react to events. So it's been a bad deal for Britain, so the sooner we leave the better, and we have to leave the customs union so we can get free trade agreements with the likes of the United States, who are really keen to do a quick, limited deal next year.
Do you accept that we're going to have to leave the customs union as well?
If you want to do those trade deals, what I would say is let's have some tangible evidence put forward, not just we're going to get all these trade deals. Let's have some hard evidence that the trade deals that we would negotiate in the future...
Well, the evidence we've got is that there's trillions of GDP from countries who've already said they want to...
I'm confused by this because Liam Fox has been saying, well, we might stay in the customs union, and he's the man who's supposedly going to do these new trade deals.
He's keeping his options open, as I said before, until the Prime Minister lays out her stall. But we know that the United States, which is our biggest single export partner, right, as a nation, they are very keen to do
Not as big as the European Union put together.
Not even close.
But they are the biggest single country.
Not as big as the European Union.
Hang on,
44% of all our export.
Yeah, but we have a deficit.
I mean,
Adam, we have a deficit with the European Union. We have a surplus with the United States. Okay, it's surpluses that create value and create wealth for the nation, not deficits. In the single market, we pay in 10 billion and we lose almost 100 billion of trade every year.
So for this ephemeral trade deal that may or may not happen with the United States, on whatever terms they want, you would seemingly sign up to it. You're going to abandon, but comfortably, our actual single biggest marketplace where we sell half our goods, the single market, and you're going to abandon the 50-odd trade deals we have with other countries.
But what about the point he's made that, in fact, it's a deficit relationship with Europe, whereas it's a surplus relationship with America?
Richard seems to suggest that the idea of going to the negotiations would be that you put a gun to the head of your nearest trading partners and dare them to put tariffs on you. But the result of leaving the single market without any trading arrangement in place is you move on to WTO rules, and that means tariffs. It means tariffs not just with the European Union, of which there are none at the moment. It means tariffs with everybody else as well.
Most nations around the world have access with the European Union on a WTO basis, and it works very well. So
you want to see a 10% tariff on cars, 20-odd% on agricultural products. That's what you get with WTO rules.
As the Prime Minister's already said, we're going to offer a zero tariff deal. And because they sell so much more to us, it's in their interest to do it. If they don't, we're quite happy with WTO.
Fine. If that happens, that happens. What if it doesn't happen? You're just going to go to WTO rules. But that's 10% on cars, 20% on agricultural tariffs. It's going to decimate manufacturing. Your own economist, Patrick Minford, said it would. He's your leave economist. He said it would decimate manufacturing.
Our exports are now going up.
That's what he said.
He's your own economist. We'll sell more cars, and if that means that actually we sell more cars that are made in the UK into the UK, fine.
It will, no, but for ordinary people, it would mean higher prices, won't it?
Well, it's interesting that, isn't it? You know, everybody talks about inflation, but actually the inflation numbers, they're not creeping up to the extent that the media talks about.
I'm not just talking about inflation, I'm talking about tariffs as well on traded goods.
Well, most of that, most of that is likely to be...
Come in on traded
we live in
goods,
such a competitive world.
It means ordinary people are going to be paying more for cars for what they buy in the supermarket.
Well, it depends how much is absorbed by the suppliers and by the dealers. And
yeah, but they can't absorb everything.
They have been so far.
It costs more. Yeah, but we haven't got to the point of these new trade arrangements coming in.
We live in such a competitive market that actually suppliers and retailers are always worried about other businesses taking market share. So they will absorb the lion's share of that. We're already seeing that.
So what you're saying is somebody's going to pay the price for your idea. Either it's going to be British businesses or it's going to be the consumer. Or, in reality, it's going to be both. Well, why would we just voluntarily slap a 10% tariff on a new car?
We're not voluntarily, James, we're going to offer zero tariffs. It's the European Union who voluntarily might say, thanks, but no thanks. Which is more destructive to them because they sell so much more to us than we do to them.
It's a two-way street. It affects us both. Your idea seems to be go to a high noon showdown where you don't even try and negotiate.
Use such emotive language. It'll be a friendly discussion, and we'll either reach an agreement or we won't.
You've said you're either going to...
What businesses want is the certainty of knowing when we're going to leave.
A lot of people are saying we certainly won't reach an agreement within 2 years.
But in which case, fine. At least you know the end date and you know the base case to work to, and businesses can organise.
I mean, and if you had a choice from your organisation's point of view between just saying, right, 2 years are up, we're out, or 2 years are up and we're going to carry on with present arrangements for a while for a transition phase.
Which 2 years are up, we're out, because that's the way we take advantage of the opportunities.
Well, I think it's a terrible idea for the economy, as does, I think, everybody else who looks at it in any detail. The CBI have got a report out today warning against exactly
the CBI, the great protectionist of big business.
Anybody whose views you don't align with, you say they have no right to say, they have no credibility. Look at what your own economist then, Patrick Minford, is your own economist. He's about the only economist. He's the Leave side's economist. He's about the only one who backs your. It's about the only one who backs your position.
Gerard Lyons.
Patrick Minford has said that your model of moving to WTO would decimate manufacturing in the UK. That's 3 million jobs in this country. That's thousands of businesses.
But hang on. People are investing in manufacturing businesses in the UK. I see it in the real estate industry. Manufacturing is increasing, not decreasing, after Brexit, and that's good news.
We are still in the single market. If we go to WTO
but people know
rules,
we're leaving. People know we're leaving.
Not to go onto WTO rules, they don't.
That has to be the base case.
I mean, it has to be said, there's another report out today on house building saying that we're in a parlous state on house building.
What do you mean a parlous state?
Well,
we've got a housing shortage.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a housing shortage and we're not building enough houses.
That doesn't mean it's a parlous state. That means there's a supply issue. But look at the house builders. Their results are good. They're selling well. You know, post-Brexit, things are looking up for house building. And the more, the better.
Sooner or later, we're not going to be able to have this phony war anymore because actual decisions are going to have to be taken.
And the Prime Minister gets on with it and sets out her stall in a courageous and bold way.
Well, we'll have you both back for a blow-by-blow commentary. Thank you very much indeed. This is All Out Politics. Coming up